Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you on an absolutely picture-perfect Saturday afternoon, a championship meet-esque kind of Saturday afternoon because it's the middle leg of the Florida Sire Stakes program. And boy, what a card we have. 12 races for you, a couple $200,000 two-year-old stakes.
Yep, it's a really fun day. The weather could not be any better. It almost made that straight month of rain worth it here. We're going to see these two-year-old Florida breds stretch out, see what they're made of. Very exciting. I like this second leg because the 7 furlongs is a true test.
I couldn't agree with you more. 7 furlongs, the precociousness has worn off. You got to earn it in a spot like this. You can't just break running, get to the front, and beat a bunch of overmatched horses. You got to put up in this spot today, and we start the separation process. And the other thing is, the other cool thing too is, I think we get to see if any of these Florida breds are not Florida breds, and that they can be other horses too.
Yeah,
you know.
And well, I mean, rated by merit, he did win his comeback this year, and it was a restricted race, but it was still against not Florida breds.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show that these guys they're tough.
Ben Tornado could very well be the favorite in the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
That's right.
At the end of November.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Florida breds, they're all right. The Rainbow Six, $75,000 in the estimated jackpot. Just getting going after we paid it out last Sunday. Looking forward to that later. So that is really later on a 12-race card. Again, that'll be race 7 today. We got to get going, so let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about. The opening leg kicks off the early pick 5. We'll take a quick look at my ticket, $27 play. I'm singling in the opener. You could use the other favorite, the 9, if you want, but then you double a ticket. And if you've heard me in the past, you know I never think that's a good idea. Right. Race 2, I've got the 9 on top. That's May Mischief. Race number 3, I've got the 7 on top, and that is Bold Advance. Race number 4, let's go with the 4, and that is Planier Champagne. And in race 5, the 5, Commendatore. And if you're thinking to yourself, wow, I don't know, I remember a lot of these names, like recently. A lot of these races were the runbacks after the last 7 races we had to cancel last Friday. Yeah. So you're seeing a lot of the runbacks today for the first time, and I'm sure you noticed it. The races got a lot more difficult for some of those horses that were entered last Friday.
Agree. Totally.
We'll talk about it. The first race is one of those races. $170 on the Tapeta, 17.5 maiden claimers going at it here. 2-year-old fillies at 2 turns. Let's scratch out the 4, Divine Blue. And, well, I'm not going to tell you it's a match race, but it's got to be the 9 or the 10 in this spot, right? Well, at least off what they've done so far.
Yeah, and we'll look at that replay now because last time out, this feels a little bit like deja vu, right?
A little bit, actually, yes.
Yeah, so Slooty Princess did all of the running in this spot here.
I feel like we said the same exact thing last Friday.
Last Friday, yeah, we did. Exactly, feels like a year ago. But Slooty Princess, I'm going to speak for you because we both just felt like she did more running than Zero Remorse. Zero Remorse was just lagging back so far and picked up some tiring horses late, but Slooty Princess made a really nice run here in this spot, and especially from the rail in that spot, that's not always an ideal place to be, and she was very game in this effort.
Without a doubt. Now, Zero Remorse does pick up the services of Edgar Zayas, and no disrespect at all to Roberto Figueroa, but we've got our perennial leading jockey, but can he make up a length in 3/4? Easier said than done. The 7, Whiskey Whim, is one of the new shooters that was not in this race last week, and I kind of feel like maybe on a route now that she could be a little interesting.
Yeah, she could. Yeah. Exactly. The breeding is there for that. You think that she would stretch out okay, but does she have any run? That's the big question. That's
a big question. Early pick 4 in race number 2. We're at 5.5 on the Tapeta. These are $8,000 2Ls, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Field of 10 because we scratched the outside horse, the long shot, the 11, Fashionable Kitty. I'll tweet that ticket out a little bit later. Another run back race, May Mischief, the 9 at a short price.
Yeah, it might be.
She's one of the newcomers, and this race is completely turned upside down with her coming in.
Yeah, exactly. It was maybe a little bit of a suspicious drop last time and could be that this time, but this is why Saffie Joseph wins so many races. It's drops like this. Where are you going to go with a horse like her?
And, you know, you got C2. They own, you know, White Abario and Hall and Ice and horses like that. This is not a program horse. So if you want to take her, you go right ahead, but we're going to win and we're going to get the purse. At least that's, you know, that's in theory. That's the thinking. Tinka, too, we'll show her. And she's one of the horses that last Friday, she was probably the favorite, especially after the scratch.
Right.
Different set of circumstances now.
Yep, exactly. And I remember when you showed this replay, I mean, there's not much to note about it other than she just was a runaway winner. This was back in early July off of a 2-year layoff. It was pretty impressive.
Sure.
The third place finisher came to win. Next out, Vanessa's Wish is just always going to run second. There's no other way about it here. But she did go up to Colonial and run a couple races there. If you get beat by Fluffy, But that was on the grass, to her credit.
Yeah, that's not going to, you're probably not going to get a new job putting that on your resume if Fluffy's going to beat you. Just to put it into perspective, she was 5-2 last week. She's 5-1 now. That's how tough. Because White Claw Woman comes in today, too. And she had no chance after the break last time. And so she, to me, essentially, she's almost first-time Barboza again.
Yeah, yep. Listen, I agree. She completely broke in the air. Today, the blinkers go on her. And one aside with that, sometimes whenever horses jump up at the break and then they put blinkers on, the same thing can happen again.
Interesting.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
I like it. There you go. Get to the main track for the first time in race number 3. We're going to go a flat one-turn mile here. This is a 62. It's not a maiden special weight. I'm looking at my daily racing form.
Oh.
It's definitely not a maiden
No,
special weight. We're at the bottom. 62.50. 3-year-olds. I'm not going crazy, right?
Yeah, no, you're not going crazy. Yeah, that
All
was
right, that's
interesting.
really
you
interesting.
You got the right race? Yep, you do. All right, just making sure.
We're going a mile here. Bottom 62.50 here for 3-year-olds and up. Scratch out the one, Silent and Violent. If Ernesto's in here, he kind of probably wants to be a maiden, but he's not. At a flat one-turn mile on a fast main track. So
pick 5.
Where are you going? Oh, yeah, middle pick 5, ever popular. Let's take a look at it.
I'm not very good at this. Maybe I should pay attention to Ron's picks because he's been hitting the middle pick 4, left, right, and center. Race number 4, we'll get into the other one in just a second. I have I Love Venezuela on top on the grass. Race number 5, I have the 2, Make Me Famous. This is my long shot. And in race number 6, I'm just going to single the 2, Valiant Winter. That's my best bet in today's card. And race number 7, I do have the 1 on top, pure class. I didn't always have the 1 on top. I had Practically Dark, but 1 for me.
All right, there we go. $27 there on that middle pick 5. We'll get back to it in this spot. Again, a one-turn mile, 62.50. You are on the 9. Pet Matt.
Yep, caught him last time because it was a good effort. It was a really good effort. He came up the rail, hard to do. Gonna have to do it again today. Now has put together 2 wins in a row, 2 different surfaces, 2 different distances. That's fantastic. Can he do it again today? I don't trust him as much, but I think he's a big player.
Both by a neck, too, so he's got a little fight to him. We kind of like that. Bold Advance, I think, is clearly the horse to beat. He got it done by a head last time off the claim for Barboza.
Well, that's what's just so significant is he did come off the claim and win pretty nicely, and he's fast on the dirt. Even though he hasn't won on a fast track, he'll have to prove it today. I think maybe that's what kind of pushed me off him a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of horses that Pet Bat and beat are back in here, including Blue Slide Park, who's got to make up 3.5 lengths. The other Barboza, we'll call him.
Yeah, but we see this a lot happen. I mean, sometimes they just cycle back into form.
Yeah, no doubt. And Pet Matt's thrown it down 2 starts in a row, too. So, maybe it could come back to him just a little bit.
Yeah.
On a firm turf course in race number 4, do take note, the rail's out at 52 feet in this spot, and it's a good one. It's a $25,000 starter allowance. We've got the fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up in here. Scratch out the 9. Mary Marguerite is out of this spot. Ever popular middle pick 4 as well as the TT pick 3. Let's take a look at Ronnie's ticket, and then we'll get into Samantha's on that TT pick 3. 27 for Ronnie. He does not have a single in this spot, and that's a good race to end it in race number 7, that optional claimer. Very easily could be a stakes kind of race or even an overnight handicap. So
and it starts the coast to coast.
And it starts the coast to coast. It starts the Rainbow 6. It's got all sorts of things interweaved with that race, but it doesn't have the TT Pick 3 in it. And we'll take a look at Samantha's ticket on that now.
4, 9, and 12 today. I do have a single. I'm going to single a Shima. In race number 12, I did scratch. My top pick did scratch, and that was Silver Wani. So I do scratch into the 3 Lucky Win Coco, who, funny enough, that's who I did have on top last week when we were going to run this race. But Slippers for DJ Stables comes into the mix, and I'm going to throw her in for a $24 play.
All right, we'll start it right here in race number 4. Another one of the races that we brought back last week, and another one of the races got way tougher as well on the inside. I Love Venezuela is going to have to try turf and probably going to have to see it out on the front end or be part of it.
Well, it seems like it, right? And I think from the rail draw, she's going to be okay here. She has won 3 in a row. I get it. It was on the Tapeta. The waters get a lot deeper here today, but she's just been so game, and I think she's a filly that she's got that confidence rolling. I know last week when we were off the grass and on the Tapeta, maybe this looked a little bit sweeter for her here, but I think the speed's going to play well.
You know what's actually going to help her? There's no way she's on the lead because Lita comes into this race to 6, so maybe that gives her a target, and that's a big deal. The question is, No Mo Cookie's going to go with some. She's going to press from the outside that second flight.
Right.
Let's show you. Well, no, I'm sticking with the horse I picked last week too. I did it last week. This is a much tougher race with who's new in this race, but the 4 Plagne Champagne for Jack Sisterson. To me, it's just getting back to the route. I know her turf race was not good at all, but it was at 5.5 furlongs at Fairgrounds. She's run well routing on the Tapeta. She's a price too, like your gal.
Yeah, she is, and she's one that if they go quick enough up front, and the time, and Edwin times this ride correctly, she could be very dangerous picking up ground late. Yeah,
and she wasn't that good in her comeback, but yet she's not in for a tag, so they want to try this here. Listen, Zoe Zucchera is just clearly the horse to beat. We'll show you. In the big deal about her now, because last Friday she was coming back on 14 days rest. She's got another 8 days now that this is going to be a big help for her.
Yeah, I was completely against her on a short comeback last time, but now, like you mentioned, and she's got a great running style here because she's one that doesn't let him get too far away. Any of these rail settings, it can play well for her because she just has gotten in the right spots. And now we're off the claim for Jose D'Angelo, which is just, in and of itself is great.
Yeah, this is an absolute tour de force here. This is a tougher group today, no doubt. The post is not good either, but this race is so goes through her to be sure. Burnaway, the 5, is in the mix. One of the new shooters is the 2, Free to Roam. She hasn't run 2 turns of late. Anything Steve K is going to run, you better take notice.
Agreed.
And she drew well. You got her in the mix, too, to be down towards the inside. Race number 5, we go 7 furlongs. This is a maiden special weight, I promise you. Fast main track, 3-year-olds and up. Another one of the races that we brought back, and you picked Make Me Famous last week. And you're going to come back to him as well.
Yep, I am. This is a 3-year-old making his debut. Last year he was training at Del Mar under different connections, and now he ends up here. We'll take a look at a breeze from him with the Victor Barboza barn, some AM activity, and this was a month ago. So we'll see. I think a much more forward horse here, a much, I don't want to say fit, but you get 2 more works after this breeze right here, so that's a good sign. They got him out of the gate, and then he just cruised. And what I like so much about this horse, Brian, is when I look at the breezes from Del Mar last year to now, he's grown up a lot. And obviously he kind of hit some growing pains if they had to stop on him at Del Mar, but it's much easier to bring a horse like this back a second time around than it is getting him fit for the races here. And Victor Barboza doesn't give anything away in the morning. He's just, and this horse here is just sitting. So And my final point is his stablemate's hard to trust, which is why you're not picking his stablemate either.
No way. And that stablemate is Skellig Michael. We'll get to in a second. Regardless of what Make Me Famous does today, I think you want to remember him when he goes 2 turns.
Yeah,
too,
that's fair.
Pedigree to run all day. My long shot's in here. Same horse as last week, Commendatori. Showed a little signs of life last time. Now, he was beaten by Skellig Michael. That is a 7 horse who's 7-5 on the morning line, who has been odds on in his last 2 starts and has not gotten it done.
No.
There was a time Commendatori was going to be a real good horse. Now, that was in his debut, and he hasn't done anything close to that since. He woke up a little bit last time. I'm going to give him a shot at a nice price. Hey, the race goes through Skellig Michael. We know that, but we've said that twice now.
Yeah.
And he did not want to win last time.
No, he didn't, and that's very frustrating. He's an athletic horse. Victor has put him in right spots. He just can't. No, he's been well prepared. He just keeps getting beat by one better.
I'm not a fan of He's the Beast.
Yeah,
but he was on the rail last week. He's outside today. I think that helps him a lot.
Much better.
I got to see more. Those are Florida breds he couldn't beat last time, too. Now, they were 2 good ones that won those races, but he's been disappointing, to be sure, and he has not been seen for quite some time now. Let's take a look at a stat, actually, on him, because Dave Fox is going to bring him back. So this is 20. That's a good stat for Dave, who's going very, very good again after a little bit of a dip in the Royal Palm meet. But this is a big ask today to me.
It is.
For He's the Beast, especially since, again, February 1st, and now this is a solid field to come back against. We'll get one more in before the break, and race 6 is 5.5 on the Tapeta. 17.5 maiden claimer for 3-year-olds and up. Scratch out the 9, a little bit sideways. Geldings, the 4, one more Duke, the 7, loud applause. So take note of that. Valiant Winter, did I hear you say best bet of the day? Yeah,
this is a horse that I like the fact that we have an apprentice aboard here today, especially with a horse with some tracking speed, and he's coming off of just a little bit of some rest. Maybe in his last 2 races, to be honest, I think I've picked him in his last 2 races. Those were races I maybe thought he kind of could break through in, but he didn't. I'm not willing to give up on him just yet here, because he's one I think needed a little bit mind-wise just to kind of mature.
I'm on the 10. That is Time for Restraint, who we've seen here in the past, but haven't seen in general since January. Looks like he's working well for Kelsey Danner.
Yeah, and at turf weight, too. So he's got that cold air in his lungs, probably chillier air than it is here. So now he's back. He does like this Tapeta, at least finishing underneath. Yeah, a lot of respect for Kelsey and the job she does as well. Coffee at KJ's. The only reason this horse is favored, at least on the morning line, is the connections. We're going to go first time Barboza here, and I think that typically attracts a lot of money. Yeah, absolutely. And this horse, since switching to the Tapeta, just the light bulb kind of went on. That also typically signals a big reversal in form or move up in form as well. So rail's not ideal, but he's going to come back running, I think, for sure. 6 down, 6 to go on a Sire Stakes Saturday. When we come back, it's Rainbow 6 time. Ronnie's got a ticket. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you on a beautiful Saturday here at Gulfstream Park. Really hope to see you out here, because it's a very big Saturday of stakes action. Florida Sire Stakes Saturday, the middle leg of the 3-race series. Looking forward to that. Boy, great card today that they put together. So Rainbow 6 starts in race number 7, $75,000 in the estimated jackpot. Let's take a look at Ronnie's ticket. He'll be out. This is Boy, it's a good sequence today.
It's a really good one, and let's see what he's doing. So race 7, we'll get into it. Race 8, this is the first leg, the first of 3 stakes we've got on the card. So the Susan's Girl, he's using the 3 and the 12. Those are my 2 as well, Finding Strength and Mythical. Race number 9, he's spreading a little bit. Race 10, this is a really good handicap, the Mr. Jordan. He is just singling the 5, lure him in. I know you like that horse as well. Race number 11, the Affirmed for the boys, the male division of the Florida Sire Stakes. He's got Wooten, Me, Canopy, but I know his top pick is Kozalite on the cutback and onto the dirt. And in race 12, Time for Peace, Slippers, and Eternal Mandate. All right, he's using the 2 Mark Cassie runners. I like that, 32.40.
All right, there we go. What a difficult sequence it is, and it starts with a really good race in race number 7, as I kind of alluded to, could easily be an overnight handicap type of spot. It's actually an optional claimer at 7 furlongs for 3-year-olds and up. Big scratch out the 5. That's practically dark. You're on the inside with Pure Class. We'll show you the replay.
Yep.
Steppy comfortably beat Pure Class last time, and he's in here too.
Yep, he did. And this was a day, as you can see, the track, it was muddy conditions. It's something that we've only seen lately. So and I'm thinking maybe Step, I know he has one on the fast track, that this maybe carried him a little bit here, and conversely Pure Class just was a little bit off his 8 ball there. He ended up getting the rail that day because there was no one post position. The one had scratched. So I think that we're sitting on a pattern that he could circle back forward again today.
Yeah, and those races 2 and 3 back would definitely make a dent, if not put him right near close to the line against this group today. I'm just stabbing with Speakeasy, who loves the Gulfstream Park main track, but I want to be fair and say that was about 10 years ago in his form, because he's not the same horse. But he's a little bit like Commendatori. He is seemingly getting
better
going. Yeah. I don't know. He's going to put blinkers on today. This is a horse that was cut out to be a Triple Crown serious horse. He was the one that got loose in the Fountain of Youth and ran off, and nothing just has gone right for him. He came back at Saratoga with the Hall of Famer Todd Pletcher, but now Gustavo Delgado's had him for a couple of starts. He seems to be rounding into form a little bit.
It's got to be. He has to be. We'll find out a lot about him today, especially because he does like this track.
Yep.
This is just, he's with the Gustavo Delgado now, but this is just such a Pletcher move with a horse like this, because like earlier on, he just was way over the top early and could never, it's just like, it put him out almost a whole year.
Really?
It was just like his brain was just fried after that, especially coming back with, he took a big field trip whenever he got loose before the Fountain of Youth. He was running all over. He's a quirky horse too, so watch him pre-race, blinkers go on, maybe he'll keep his mind right.
You know, I tried to make Vitality. This is the Stronach homebred that's going to cut back, and the only time he ever showed any life was at one turn right here at Gulfstream Park.
Exactly.
Big win.
Yep, it was a very big win. So I like the fact that we'll get this 1-turn mile here again today.
Edgard and Joe Orsino have teamed up, I'd say, the last, we'll call it about 3 months, and done good work together. The first of the 2 Sire Stakes is race number 8, and that is the Susan's Girl, $200,000 on the line. As Samantha said at the start, we'll stretch these gals out a little bit now. Precociousness wears off. Finding Strength and Love Like Lucy ran 2-3 in the Desert Vixen. That's the first leg. Oh, we got to take a look at your pick 5 first.
Oh, okay.
Let's blitz through that, and then we'll get back to it.
Yeah, I'm singling a Shima. I'm using the 3 and the 12 here. The same horses in the final leg, Slippers, Lucky Win, Coco. Race number 10, though, I do have the 3 Hades on top. Race number 11, I've got the 8 Wooten on top. Race 11 is a tricky one to me.
It's a beast.
Yep, and in race 12, like I said, I do have the 3 Lucky Win, Coco on top, but going to use a few there, and hopefully Ashima can get the win in race 9.
Yeah, the 2 Sire Stakes races could not be more different, because race 8, we've got Mythical, who I would assume is going to be a giant favorite. Race 11, 6 horses could be favored in there.
I agree, yeah.
Let's start with Finding Strength. Comfortably beat Love Like Lucy in the 6 furlong Desert Vixen when she lost an absolute heartbreaker to Lenny Lou.
Yeah, well, take a look at that replay, and it was a heartbreaker. Finding Strength.
We all thought she won.
Yeah, we did. It was, and it's crazy because then when we saw the photo, we were like, oh.
Wasn't even close.
It wasn't close at all. She's on the inside here. Lenny Lou is well-traveled, has won multiple races, and Finding Strength, that took her a little bit to switch her leads. Boom, she finally switched her leads. She's one that it's just taking her a little bit to develop, and I think Mike Yates has done such a fantastic job at getting her to maybe peak at the right time. She's never been completely over the top. Like, it was noses apart there. It was a really big effort. The problem maybe with her today is we're going to be to the inside again, and that's unfortunate.
Love Like Lucy was comfortably behind. She's favored in her because it's the ownership here. They love to bet their horses.
Yes.
I promise you I don't have the 1 on top. I have the 12 on top. That's my...
Maybe you just
I might have sent 1-2 over. Yeah, it's the 12-6-5-3. That's my bad, guys. I'm not picking Tis a Sweet Lady, although
I was gonna say, wow.
we like Leon McCannis. I'm picking Mythical. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I don't... we'll show you the race at Saratoga. I'm not completely sold Mythical is a true top 7 furlong horse, but today against this group, I just don't see anybody in her way. She is really good.
Well, we'll find out again a lot about her. She's just so game. She won here and like just took off and was fantastic at Saratoga. Last time out in the spin away, I was worried about the distance for her already. I didn't really like her warm-up, I'll be quite honest. I didn't like the way she was just she just didn't seem like she was on her A game. So we'll find out a lot. We'll take a look at him before, watch her on the track, because she's got to be right for a race like this, because after you run those string of just such fast races, maybe she just paid the price.
Well, she got dueled into the ground.
She did.
too,
That's
in a race,
but
where,
she still didn't. I don't feel like she broke as sharp as she typically does. I don't know.
Yeah, she's in a good post today
She's very
too, and
good.
that Adirondack was comfortably faster than the 2-year-old Colts went in the Saratoga Special.
That's right.
Like
yeah, that's
7
right.
lengths, I believe.
Crazy.
Blazing Bridget is a maiden for Kenny McPeak, who's going to come down off a tightener at Aqueduct. We'll show you her running on a little bit late. This race could fall apart a little bit. Can she win? I don't know about that. I think she could get a piece, though.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. And the track conditions not ideal for this right here. She's the 6 making up some ground late. I think she should like this track, especially when you see that she did have a lot of interest. And it's like she was still figuring it out.
Yeah,
you know,
you can see her running late.
Yeah, it was almost like she was running in spots too.
Yeah.
So with that race under her belt, she should improve leaps and bounds. Is it going to be enough to catch up to this group? That's the question.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Could be in 4 weeks from
Well,
today, though.
that's very fair.
I should have mentioned this. Apologies. Scratch out the 4 Stunning Sapphire. The big scratch is the 8 Social Storm. Not Without Hope. I put Dare Gently in second. Her dirt race, terrible, okay? Yeah. I admit it. But that was on debut. She's going to come from off the pace. That's what I like today, because I still think Mythical is going to be really, really good and might fry everybody else that's involved. On the turf to kick off the late pick 4 in race 9. Mile and a 16th and an optional claimer. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch out the 4. Crafty Collector, scratch out the 7, Rula. The rails at 52 feet. Quick look at my late pick 4 on a $24 ticket. I'm with Samantha with a Shima here. Race 10 is my best bet of the day. Lure him in. I think Ronnie is as well. I'm spreading in the affirmed. I do have the 10 on top. Hawk. And in race number 12, the 4 for me, Time for Peace. That is another race we brought back that we'll talk about. $18 for me. Good one on the turf. We'll start with a Shima in her tactical speed, which I think gives her a huge edge over at least the morning line favorite, Madam Mischief.
Absolutely. And it was, she was beat last time by one of my favorite horses right now on the grass, which is Starship
Impulsive, yeah.
Who is phenomenal. But there's no Starship Impulsive here today. Ashima fits like a glove with these horses. She's one. She doesn't need the lead. She's so tactical, and wherever you want to put her, she'll do it. Edward Zeiss will get aboard today, which is kind of exciting.
Yep, no doubt. Now, the morning line favorite is the 8 Madam Mischief off graded stakes tries, where quite honestly, at ginormous numbers, she ran pretty darn good.
She did, but she is such a problematic horse because so many times you pick her, and she just won't. She'll give you a thrill, and then she won't. I remember I walked by the TV when she won at Monmouth, and I was like, oh, finally, she won, because she was 0 for 10 in 2024.
Yeah, 0 for 7 right here on the turf. I will say this, she's gotten a lot better in her last 3 starts. The race is going to go through her. The other thing, that really helps Ashima is a scratch of the 7, who is speed.
Very speedy.
Ashima doesn't need the lead, but she's going to be darn close. Everybody that wants to be close got a lot of help with the scratch, and everybody who doesn't, like a Madam Mischief, did not get help with the scratch.
It's a short field now, so there'll be more compact, and maybe Ashima won't have to work as hard.
I agree with that totally. The Mr. Jordan is race number 10. 1-turn mile, fast main track, $70,000 on the line. Awesome train. The 1 is out. We'll see him likely tomorrow. You're going to give Hades another try. We'll show you Hades in lightning tones.
Yeah, this was just the stretch run. Look, the ride on Hades was just, I just don't think, he never got a good rhythm. He was never sent from the gate, from that one hole. He was all over the place. I know that you might be like, oh, well, Samantha only picks DJ Stables horses. But really, if you watch the whole race, it was just, this isn't the real Hades. Lightning Tones is fantastic. I really do like Lightning Tones. But I like Hades a lot cutting back here. And then Edgar Zayas put a fantastic ride going 1 mile and an 1/8. Look, Son of Awesome Slew. I don't mind at all that we're in at the 1-turn mile today.
Yeah, the problem is we haven't seen the real Hades. We've seen it once in the last year and a half. That's my override issue with him. I hope you get 5-1. That's where I priced him. I mean, I don't know how he can possibly take more money than some of these other horses, but they like to bet this barn and these connections, I should say, and Edgard's here. But boy, I hope you get value on him. Allure him on. I just think at the end of the day, he's the horse in here. We're going to show you his race with Awesome Train, who's out of here, but this is him winning a $70,000 overnight. Now, he got beat up in the Grade 1 Pacific Classic, so he's got to come back from Del Mar and out there in San Diego-ish. He's got to come back. He's got to have it again, but he always does have it. And I think,
cool old knocking horse.
Cool old knocking horse that, oh, by the way, loves it around here.
He does.
6 for 13 on our main track. His post and his running style are perfect. He's not better than Steel Sunshine. I don't think anybody is better than Steel Sunshine. What are you going to get from Steel Sunshine?
I don't know. This could be maybe the beginning of the end for him, and I hate to even say that, but last time it was... I was completely against him last time anyway. I liked his stablemate a lot better. We'll bring him back to the dirt. If he brings his Grade 2 GP mile race, nobody's going to beat him. That Maidon trip really took it out of him. Yeah. It really did.
He could have been second in that race.
And then I mentioned before his last race at Kentucky Downs, he was scratched because he had jumped up in the saddle stalls, hit his head, and then they brought him back at the Kentucky Downs race, the Mint Millions. He didn't run well. I just think this is going to be a good get back on track, Steel Sunshine.
I'll tell you what, you can argue if he should be favored or not. He should take a lot of money if he's not Pasadena, Toss City on him. Lightning Tones is so good right now.
He is.
I talked to Herman Sam the other day. We talked about it. Con Campagna, if nobody runs with him early, he could get really brave in here.
Yep.
That's the 8, who's not bad for Amador Sanchez. The Affirmed, race number 11, co-feature. The Colts and Geldings go at it here at 7 furlongs. And what a doozy this is. A clean field of 11. You could make a case for 8 of them, 9 of them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're all over the place. You knew we would be. Wooten might be the speed of the speed. I don't know how much speed's in here, right?
I agree completely. It wasn't the fastest race. We'll look at the replay. Hawk ran second against him, and it's funny, on the thoroughgraphs, they both ran the same number.
Yeah, because Hawk was obviously wider.
But Hawk is going to...
I picked Hawk today, by the way, so we can...
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what's good to show about this. Wooten is a horse. He's still figuring things out, and he's been great. And we caught up with Heather Smolin on our podcast, and she's very excited about him moving forward. We'll see if the 7. She said he trains like a horse that's going to get the distance, but we'll find out today. Hawkett was almost just like, okay, we're running second. Let's just kind of wrap up and
He looked like a horse that had no idea what the heck he was doing around there.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to get a lot better from him. You can kind of see me especially. I didn't like any of these
Very
Dr.
fair.
Fager horses. Let's show you the race, okay? They're all on the line together. I never liked that. Camagold was best. He drew good today. He was second. Trelawney, your second place horse, was in there. All to Win. Squire, who's just, I guess we could, I don't know. Squire's precociousness is off of Squire. I don't know.
Yeah, the Squire, I think, is going to need grass 2 turns. I'm ready for that. I think Trelawney is a very sneaky horse because he hasn't regressed hardly at all, and he's just getting better, and he's a bit of a grinder, too. So I think that will really bode well for him. Yeah.
To me, the one I want out of there is All to Win because he's another one where he's kind of a big jerk out there and he doesn't really get it either.
Yeah.
But he ran on a little bit late. He's going to make his 3rd start. Go back and watch his maiden win.
Oh.
Talk about a horse that's just trying to figure this game out right now. Yeah. And he's got a lot of upside for Rohan Crichton. Fascinating renewal. We got to show you Strategic Whisk quickly. He's your morning line favorite. One time he's run at Gulfstream Park. He won by the length of the stretch on the main track.
He was really
Super
impressive here. And he only beat 2 horses home in the Sanford after this race, but he really threw him to the wolves there. You go from here beating a pretty weak field, Other Level, who isn't Other Level still a maiden? Mm-hmm. Yep, okay, for Antonio Son, but he did it very easily.
Yeah.
And he's familiar with the rail that he's going to be traveling on today. So why can't a horse like him step up?
Well, he's going to break running if he's in front. Like we talked about, not a lot of speed other than Wooten in this race, which is very, very odd for a race of this caliber at this time of the year. Race number 12 doesn't get easier. It is 5 furlongs on the turf in a maiden special weight. Again, the rail's at 52 feet. Scratch out the outside horse, Silver Juani. This is another race we brought back. Samantha is on the 3, Lucky Win Coco. I'm on the 4, Time for Peace, so we can show you that too. I'm on the speed horse. You're on a horse that's probably going to come from off of it a little bit.
Yep, I think so. And Lucky Win Coco, did you pick Time for Peace? Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You picked her last time too, and I kind of had missed her last time. These are both really solid horses, and it's hard to separate these two. Time for Peace just really had to do a lot of hard work, and that was a race where she was coming off of a little bit of a layoff. I thought Lucky Win Coco ran a bang-up job as well here. To me, Time for Peace is going to want more ground.
Okay.
A little bit. Now, that being said, I still used her. I think she's going to improve. But Lucky Win Coco makes a really nice run for 3rd, and I like the fact you see her. She's there. She is. She's got to be closer this time around.
Well, that's the thing. That's because I think Time for Peace, at least on paper, can make the front. Ensley. Your morning line favorite is the new shooter, was not in the race last Friday. I believe the stat is 0 for 17, Safi Joseph Jr., maiden special weight turf sprinters. You tread very, very lightly here.
Yeah, she worked 10 flat at the sale. She's pretty heavy. I don't know.
All right, paid $170 for this Leinster that standing for $2,500. Edgard, they're going to bet a lot on her, I think. Wow, 12 races. They're so good. We've got a quick lightning round because of what we just went through, all these replays and stakes and tickets and all that good stuff. Just quickly, the Coast to Coast and the Sunset 6 are both back today.
Yep.
They're as good a bet as we're going to offer you around this joint and out there in Acadia as well.
Yeah, and look at this. We've got both of the Florida Sire stakes in the mix for this, so it's a very, very fun coast-to-coast sequence. 3
here, 2 at Santa Anita. The Sunset 6, if you're just kind of getting in the loop on this one, always the last 3 here, always the last 3 at Santa Anita, and that bottom line is the same for both bets. 15% takeout, $1 minimum, and retail only. And what that means is there are no CAWs in this wager. Best bet for you?
It is Valiant Winter for me.
All right. I like it. I'm Lure Him In, along with Ronnie and the Mr. Jordan, and your long shot.
It is Make Me Famous.
All right. There we go. 10-1. I think I'm at 12-1 with Commendatori. Oh, same race. How about that?
There you go.
There we
Really
go.
long shots.
Can't believe we're trying to beat Skellig Michael.
I know.
In there.
He's going to win easily now.
That's it. Pete's upstairs. Ronnie's coming out. Great Saturday of racing. We hope to see you out here at beautiful Gulfstream Park.